Well, hi folks, this is Darren with My RV Works. Today we are in Paulsbo, Washington. We've got another furnace for you. I almost didn't want to record this one because I already have a lot of furnace videos, but this one is showing a little bit of something different, and there's an opportunity to learn something from this one. So come on in and I'll show you what we're dealing with right now. Okay folks, if you've watched my other videos, what you'll notice I like to do is find the wires that go in, and I want to become the thermostat. And so on this particular furnace, now what we're dealing with here is the Atwood AFMD30111, okay? And so on this particular furnace, these two blue wires, they leave the furnace, they're gonna go through the thermostat, they're gonna make a contact, they're gonna come back to the furnace, and that's what's gonna turn the furnace on. I've got other videos that go into how that whole thing works. So if I am the thermostat, I'm gonna touch these two wires together, and then that's gonna make the furnace start, okay? Now, it's gonna go through its pre-purge, about a 15-second, variable. And one thing, it will not work without this exhaust port. You must have the exhaust port, okay? If you don't have the exhaust port. Now, I'm hearing clicking sound. You hear the tick, 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 tick? So I'm hearing that ticking sound. So what that means is I have ignition, or the igniter is striking that arc, but I'm not smelling any gas coming out. I'm not smelling that Ethelmer Captain rotten egg smell of gas at all, okay? So when we got here, within a minute, less than a minute of me arriving on scene, having the customer turn on this furnace, immediately I knew what the problem was. If I hear the ticking, guess what? There's no way it's the sail switch or the high limit thermostat. It might be the board, it may not be the board at this point, but I know I don't have to worry about my sail switch. Everybody always picks on the sail switch. It's a sail switch, it's a sail switch. If I've got the ticking sound, there's no way it could be the sail switch. It also could not be the high limit thermostat, which is also back in here. Once I hear the ticking sound, I'm on the other side of all of the sail switch, thermostat, all those problems. I'm not smelling gas. Does anybody want to take a guess on what the problem might be? I suspect a gas valve, okay? Now, I wanted the furnace to work like that because what he's done is he has tried to start 3 times. You heard it, 1, 2, 3. And after the 3rd time, he's in what's called lockout. And we should see a blinking light down in here, okay? If you look in here, right in there, you see the 3 blinking lights right in there? Wait a minute, right in there. 1, 2, 3. Now pan over to this panel right here, okay? Okay, and 3 seconds is the ignition lockout. So basically what he's done is he's put himself into lockout. So if we're going to make the call that we think this is the gas valve, then there are a few tests that we can do, okay? So first of all, we can pull this out. Now the reason we have to pull out this exhaust vent is the new AFM furnaces and the AFS and the AFLs will not operate at all without this on it. This is an integral part of the furnace. Don't ask me how I know that, but if you try to do troubleshooting and this is not installed, it's just gonna flame out on you. So the dog leg needs to be in, okay? This white thing right here, this is your sail switch on these new, I'm gonna call this a Dometic furnace, but it's the old, Atwood was bought by Dometic, and so you can call it an Atwood furnace or Dometic furnace. At this point, it's gonna be fine within a couple of years. I'm sure it's all gonna be Dometic, but some people might call this an Atwood. So I just want to be clear, if I mix up and call this an Atwood, it's really a Dometic because it's all the products are now Dometics. So this would be your sail switch on this style furnace, and I love how they made it easier to get to. The other style, you had to take this apart and get to it, and it was crazy. So it really makes it nice to get to these sail switches here. But we know that the problem here is not the sail switch. We are suspecting it's the gas valve, and the reason we're suspecting it's a gas valve is because we're not smelling gas when we hear the ticking. Homework assignment would be to go and turn on your furnace, and more than likely it's going to ignite right away for you. But if it doesn't, one of the things we're going to want to check is if the gas valve is opening and allowing gas to flow through. Now, what we can do is, see this red wire right here? I'm going to unplug him right there. So I'm going to plug in my little known good power cord, and I'm just going to wedge this guy right in there to give me a good ground, okay? And actually, I need to use the opposite ends of this. Hold on, because the other ends go into my battery. So this is my little 10-foot wire that I always carry around. So I'm going to put him right in there. I want to grab that pin right there because I'm about to put 12 volts on it. And I'm just going to ground this to the frame right there. And now I'm going to take a battery pack out of my drill, and I am, now if the gas is on, I'm going to go plus and minus. If I have gas pushing against this gas valve, then when I energize them with 12 volts, I should get a pretty heavy dose of this ethyl mercaptan smell, right? So here we go, we're going to try it. Okay. I heard the click, therefore my solenoids are good. I am not smelling gas at all, nothing. Now when we're done, we'll do this exact same test and see if we smell it. But I'm going to say that this gas valve has some kind of a blockage in them. So I'm going to turn them off. Now listen for the click. Okay, so we know that the solenoids are good. This is basically a big magnet, and I'm creating a magnet by doing that, and I'm pulling this spring-loaded plunger up, allowing the gas to flow. But for some reason, he's not allowing them to flow. When I do this test, I should definitely smell LP gas smell, and I don't. So let's take the gas valve off and do the next phase of troubleshooting, okay? Now the first thing I need to do is I need to turn off my propane cylinder. This RV has one on each side, so we'll do that. Make sure that we're turned off because we're about to crack into the gas line. Okay, we've got our gas valve off. Let me put a headlight on so I can see inside the dark hole that is the furnace. Okay, now here's the gas valve. And there's going to be 3 screws that are going to hold this assembly in place. One at the top, one down here, and then one opposite. So I've already unplugged this, and those are going to be square bit. So let me get an extension. Okay. All right, so here we go. 3 screws. And we're going to need to loosen the gas fitting on the top. And one more right down here. Okay. To magnetize the tip of my bit. Okay, so now this is going to come out. Okay, and but we need to loosen our gas fitting. Oh, what does he look like? About a 13/16. No, do not play the lottery today. 3/4. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to take a we always use a backup valve whenever we're working with these fittings. There we go. Okay. Now I'm hearing the gas. Now I'm smelling gas. Now I'm smelling gas. So I know I have it coming this far. Ground connection. Okay, so here we have the gas valve is this assembly right here. Okay. And we are going to take that apart and test them. So here I have 2 more square bits. So to take this out, you saw, turn off the gas, loosen the nut, take off your 3 screws. Okay, there's 1, 2. Okay, now, ooh, this is good. Another thing it could be, like we know that the gas valve is energizing, we know that, but we know that there's a blockage, okay? 1 more screw and this guy comes off. So let's take him apart. Oh, there he goes, okay. There we go. So here's our gas valve. So what I'm gonna do is let me take the camera a little bit wider and we'll work on this, okay? Okay, so we've got the valve out. And we are suspecting that there's a blockage in the valve. Now, sometimes, I've already loosened this, but sometimes I've seen where spiders might make a nest inside of this little eyelet right here. Is that in focus? Kinda? This thing? Oh, he screws right onto the end of this. And so for now, I'm gonna leave him off because he's clean, there's no problem. If you do need to clean this, isopropyl alcohol is what you use to clean that. So I'm gonna set this guy in my magnetic tray, which is over this way. Oh, these allergies are gonna kill me. I'm all wheezy and I'm not a heavy breather, but I'm sorry if I'm breathing heavy, but it's just, anyway, enough on that. So, sorry if I am. So what I wanna do, Dakota, can you come give me a hand, please? Now, Dakota is the newest member of My RV Works. Say hi.
Hi.
He's gonna be taking over when I get older. That rhymed, didn't it? How's your boss?
Good.
Oh, the boss is good. I like to hear that. Okay, so Dakota, would you hold this, please? Here, let's stand here. Okay, and What's your sister like? She's a girl. We like her. Okay, we're going to hold this like this. Hold them off to the side, because what I'm going to... Oh, wait, we're upside down. We're going to go like this. Now, what I want to do is, it's a little bit of a wind today, but if I blow through here and I energize this, you should see this guy moving. So hold him with both hands, because I'm going to let go. Okay, don't want it to fall and hit your foot. So I'm going to connect red to red. Okay, and I'm going to ground this. You'll hear a click. Listen. Okay, let's go. So now I have energized the solenoid. Okay, now when I blow through here, we should see this flap around a little bit. Here we go. An allergy. Okay, here we go. There's there's nothing going through that. That does not taste good at all. So let's conduct the same exact test with with a brand new solenoid, gas valve. So let me have this. I'm gonna put them in there. So here we have a brand new one. We'll hold them just like that. Put your tape on, hold that. Okay, we are going to connect this in there. Here's our click, same click. So we are energizing this with 12 volts. I'm gonna blow through. We'll see if that moves this time. Okay, that is so nasty. That's gotta be unhealthy. Maybe only in certain states you might get cancer from that. I don't know. Okay, that does not taste good at all. So there you go. Okay, we can pull that away. At the end of the day, I think we had a failed gas valve. You're gonna ask the question, well, gee, why was it, here, here's a little gift for you. Don't say I never gave you nothing. Put that in your piggy bank, might be worth something one day. Well, gee, what happened? I don't know. See the abuse I take? That's employee abuse. I think what we had was a bad gas valve. There was a blockage. I'm not going to drill the thing apart and figure it out. Maybe I'll put them in my show and tell rainy day kit, and in a future video, I am collecting this kind of stuff. So in a future video, I want to like slice and dice them open and see what's inside, and I'll put that on the video for you guys. So at the end of the day, I think we have a failed gas valve. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer all the parts from the old valve onto this one, which is this brass nut. We're going to put them back in, reassemble with all the screws. Really simple. Now, if you turn out to have a bad gas valve, let's see if we can get the part number for you. Here, go see if this is in the main shot. I'll put this right here. Go see if it's in the center mass. Up, down, left, right, in focus, not in focus.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so that would be the part number for the gas valve that comes in on the top. Some of you might have it coming on the side, some on the bottom, but if yours is the one that's on the top like this one, then there's your part number. So we're going to transfer the parts from that guy to this guy, and we're going to reinstall him, okay? All right, folks, so what we've done is I have assembled the gas valve onto the burner head assembly. I've put that little brass piece on. You use Rector seal number 5 to seal that. You want to make sure that all the gas is going only through that little orifice and not through the threads. This is your electrode. You take an 1/8 of an inch Allen wrench, and you want to make sure that there's an 1/8 of an inch gap between the burner head assembly and your electrode, and also between the electrodes. Okay, so I've got other videos where I explain how all this works. Go look for those. Basically, this one that's got the ceramic on it is shooting a milliamp current, but when it has two jobs. When the gas valve opens, the first thing the control board's going to do is he's going to shoot a spark for 6.8 seconds or less until right through this spot right here where my Allen key is, while gas is filling up inside the burner head assembly. And then once you have that ignition, then it's like good cop, bad cop. He's going to turn his head around, and now he's not going to be an igniter. Now he's going to be a monitor, and he's going to shoot a very small milliamp current through this electrode. This other electrode is ground. You can see he's welded right here to the body, and we're going to shoot a milliamp current through this wire. This guy, right? No. That's this. Oh, he's already connected. I'm looking for him. Allergies again. And so there's carbon and a flame, and we are going to read the current flowing through the two electrodes going through the carbon in the flame. So as long as I have a flame, I have carbon. As long as I have carbon, I have current flow. And so if the flame is extinguished for any reason, I do not have current flow because I've lost my carbon path, and therefore the board knows there is no flame, therefore shut the gas valve. So I go into a lot more detail on that in other videos. So now that all this is tight, okay, and we've checked our gap, And also on some of these are burned down. I've got another video that this whole area here is all cooked and crunchy. And so now we're going to put them back in. Okay. Now what I found is it is a lot easier, let me turn my headlight on, it's a lot easier to tighten this LP fitting before you tighten this. You might need to wiggle it around a little bit, hold your mouth just right and all that, just to get this screwed on. And maybe say a couple G-rated words just to get it on there, because the tolerances are really tight. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna move the camera over and get this thread, but you see what I'm working on. I gotta get the gas valve on here. It's doable, but I just need to move over a little bit. And then once I get that tightened, then there's gonna be 3 screws, the same screws I took out in the beginning, one on the top, one straight down, and one across, and then that's gonna secure this. We plug everything in and we'll fire in a hole. Okay folks, we had to fight this thing, but we got it in. Oh, I meant to put my screws in while I still had it off, sorry. Okay, now we're going to test it again. So basically we're going to conduct the same test. I'm going to put my thermostat wires here. I'm going to become the thermostat. We have to go turn on our LP, and we have to sniff for a leak right here. I'll show you how I do that here in just a moment. So we're going to sniff for a leak. We're going to turn on our LP, sniff for a leak, become the thermostat, and see if we don't get a furnace this time. Okay folks, so I've got my gas sniffer. We've got the LP turned back on, and whenever you go into a gas line on an RV, you have to sniff for leaks. Come on, let's keep everybody safe. So the gas is on, I'm sniffing for leaks. If this had a leak, he'd go a little crazy, but he's not, so therefore we have no leaks. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put my dog leg back in. Let's scooch the camera over a little bit so we don't incinerate it. And where's my, okay, I'm gonna be the thermostat. Okay, so here we go. Now, we're still rolling. Okay, if our experiment worked, we've diagnosed it as a failed gas valve. We've replaced the gas valve. We showed you how the gas valve, how we determined the gas valve was bad. And if it was, in fact, the gas valve, and we connect this, we should have heat. Here we go. It might take 2 tries because we had the line open and it got air in it. 3, 2, 1, there we go. And you have a furnace. And now we have heat. So therefore, who's the man? Give me a high five, Dakota. There we go, high five. And Mr. Customer, give me a high five. There we go, okay. And so now we have heat, and so there you go. At the end of the day, it was a gas valve. Therefore, we're at the end. So you know what I'm gonna say. If this was helpful, if you like this, give me a thumb up. Yeah, man. Come over here, Dakota. Get over here. Give Dakota a thumb up. Everybody, give Dakota a thumb up. He helped hold things, and he's actually knows a lot more about this, but he's just a little shy. So if you like these videos, we're gonna feature Dakota in a little more of those. We've got an awning one coming out, I think. That one's kind of fun. You don't need me to see this. Well, I don't have my happy camper hat on. I'm still a happy camper. But, so if you like it, give us a thumb up, subscribe to our channel. There we go. I got my prop master here. Okay, now we got to start all over again. Hey folks, this is Darren with My RV. So if you like this, thumb us up, subscribe to our channel. That way it makes it easier to find. We're always running around here on the Olympic and Kitsap Peninsulas making repair videos of furnaces, of RVs. I'm going to turn this off because I'm getting cooked. And yeah, share it with your friends, like it, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. So
happy campers say my RV.
Yay!